I welcome you all to MOOC's course entitled Community Engagement and Social Responsibility. I will be discussing Unit 3 today. It deals with rural development programs, implications, and management. This unit has two modules. The first module is about rural development programs and rural institutions. Module 1, Part 6. In sixth part of module 1, we will be studying about Panchayati Raj levels and functions. In the previous part of the module, we studied flagship programs of Ministry of Rural Development and their objectives. Moving to the different levels. Now, what are the different levels of Panchayati Raj? As you can see the slide, there are three levels: village level, block level, and district level. So at district level, you have district panchayat or Zilla Parishad. At block level, you have block panchayat, sometimes called as Janpad Panchayat or Panchayat Samiti. The nomenclature might differ. And at village level, we have Gram Panchayat. And then another important body is Gram Sabha. Next, we come to functions of Gram Panchayat. And I think the slide has a number of pictures which can very well explain that what are the functions of Gram Panchayat. And why I have included the functions of Gram Panchayat, because any programs which are formulated by Ministry of Rural Development, they are implemented through Panchayati Raj, which I already told you, and also Gram Panchayat. So here, as you can see in the pictures, construction and maintenance of water resources. So water is a very important aspect in villages. The reason is because most of the employment comes from farming, and farming needs irrigation. So therefore water is important. So where you have lots of water, there is not a problem. Problem is where you have drought or where you have water scarcity. So rainwater harvesting can be done, and how it is done, what is the purpose, what are the objectives, the developmental program, people they come and they teach the Gram Panchayat, the Sarpanches and the Panches, and through Gram Panchayat they are able to model their ideas and give it to the people at large in villages. The next is roads. Yes, I also talked about Pradhan Mantri Gram Sadak Yojana. So this plan could not have been successful without the existence of panchayat, because you have to bring conviction, and it is very difficult to bring belief and trust in villagers. You need to have trust. You need to communicate with them, and therefore the role of Gram Panchayat comes into picture. I would like to state an example here. A company, Asian Paints, I'm sure you must have heard about the name, wanted to enter into villages and create a market there. But they were not able to interact with the villagers because villagers were not ready to listen to them. So what did the company do? The company visited the Sarpanch's house and they painted the house of Sarpanch free of cost. And there comes the message. And then later on, the villagers open-armed welcomed Asian Paints Company, and they painted other houses and even schools. So that is how the companies are able to enter into villages. It is very difficult for them to directly interact with the villagers, so they come through Gram Panchayat or Sarpanches and Panches. Then next point is maintenance of sanitation and public health. Now, villagers are very shy and they do not open up as far as the diseases are concerned. Like, for example, you have a very important point I would like to make here is AIDS. It is very difficult. They are not aware about it, and even if they are suffering from it, they will not like to share it with anybody because that is considered a taboo. Similarly, leprosy. So therefore, in that case, the only way government can teach them is through sarpanches and panches of Gram Panchayat. Once you educate them and you tell them the pros and cons and how the entire village will suffer if one person doesn't get cured. So that is the reason why Gram Panchayat is important, because it acts as a coordinator between government plans on one hand and villagers on the other hand. Similarly, a recent example is of corona vaccination. The vaccination was again considered a taboo by the villagers. So again, you have ASHA and several other workers working in villages through Gram Panchayats, educated the panchs and sarpanches, and it is through them that they were able to pitch their policies and programs in the village. Then last is providing elementary education. So elementary education, I am sure about that you must have heard about midday meal scheme. So this is just a marketing gimmick to attract small children so that they come to school. And again, there was one problem which was faced by girl students, that there was lack of girl toilets in schools. So this problem was communicated through Gram Panchayat to the developmental program officers and was taken care of. So now children, uh, in the attraction of getting midday meal, they go to school and in turn they get educated, at least literate, they can read and write, maybe they can sign. So these are all examples which illustrate that how Gram Panchayat plays a vital role, plays an important role in implementing the rural development policies which are formulated by the government. The next is Panchayati Raj. How do they raise funds? Because anything and everything boils down to finances. So there are three important sources. First is they can take funds from local body, and these bodies are recommended by Central Finance Commission. The second is funds by certain schemes, like for example, I remember that when disinvestment policy of Government of India came, whatever shares the government sold in the market, the money or the funds which were received, a fund was created and this money was deposited in that account, and this account was used for sponsoring all the rural development programs. So again, as I already said, that funds, the centrally sponsored schemes were there, and also I told you about this investment policy. And lastly is State Finance Commission. So State Finance Commission can recommend to give finances to Panchayati Raj. So these are primarily the three sources.
In this part, we studied about Panchayati Raj levels and functions. In the next part, we will study about Gram Sabha and self-help groups.
Thank you.